Hello, friends. This is your friend Atso Brentishan from Prime Testimony Channel. Today, we are going to look at the need to document that traditional knowledge. Every family has a history and has some traditional knowledge that is unique to that family alone. And when that knowledge is properly documented, it is left for the latter generation to come and read so that that knowledge will still be relevant in the family. Sometimes that knowledge can even be a source of income for the family. So it is very important. I'm saying this as a result of what I have seen as mistakes of other families, including that of my family. For example, my great grandfather was a traditional healer, and we are told he knew a lot of herbs that he used to apply for people to be healed. My grandmother learned some of them, and we grew with my grandmother. We lived in the same house until I later left for secondary school, and even some of the vacations I was coming down, and even when I started working, I used to visit often. None of the children learned about those herbs, with the exception of one of my late uncles who learned a little. And after the demise of my uncle, neither my mother nor her sisters nor any of the family members know about those, traditional herbs. That is why I'm saying it is important that whatever knowledge that is there, you have to keep it. And I will commend one family in a particular town in Asan. I understand the father migrated from their father or great grandfather migrated from Mali and came and lived in that Asin village. And he knew some particular herbs which he used to treat bones, people who have had accidents. And that man has bequeathed that knowledge to the children, and for over 70 something years, they use those herbs to treat accident victims and even people who have had it difficult getting healed abroad. I even brought them and they get healed. I have been there personally when I was involved in an accident. My cousins have been there, my boss's mother has been there, and a lot of people have been there, and they still, that is the only family that knows about that herbs. In Ghana here, there are a number of traditional medicines for skin that were also, developed by some other people, and they bequeath those to their children, and some of them have become, big companies. I remember when we were kids, there was this skincare cream that we call Pam Pam or Pam Pam, and I remember the company was Pam Pam Traditional Remedies, and I think all these were there before the latter ones were introduced. And those that came late, I think some of the families have been smart and they've been able to preserve them, and they have taught their children and close family members, and they are still producing them in large commercial quantities. And some of them have become big businesses, which, they are now running. So it is important for every family to document your history, issues about previous conflicts and how they migrated, how the communities were established, their cultural practices like their clothing, the languages, the language they speak, issue of kingship, land administration, and all these certain the significance of certain cultural practices, festivals, naming ceremonies, death, when somebody dies, some of the traditions. All these significance should be explained and documented so that the latter generation that will come would understand, okay, this is how we started, and this is how we've come, how far we've come, and this is where we are going. So it is very important to document. Maybe we were not fortunate for anybody to advise us, but I think it will be helpful if you follow my advice and document all those. Let me give you a particular example. Coca-Cola company started so many years ago, and up to now, I understand it is only the very close family members that have the formula for the preparation of Coca-Cola. In Ghana here, there is this restaurant we called Papaye. And those who have ever visited Papaye in any of the branches apart from that of Dosu, you can attest to the fact that their grilled chicken is nice. And there is a particular formula they use to prepare their pepper sauce. And I understand it is their owners and their families alone that know that formula. So this one has become intellectual property of that family. That know-how is unique to them. And I believe if it's well documented, which I know they might have done, even if they are not there, their latter generation will be able to generate money out of that knowledge. So it is important, very, 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 very important to, document all those. Sometimes people even start societies in church, and they will wait till after so many years before they start writing the history. It will be advisable for you to start documenting them down. Even if you will not write the full history, you document the events. One day, you would need to write the history. Then you go for all that information and document. Documentation had been a problem with Africa in times past. It is improving, but I think we have a long way to go. So if any community or any family has anything happening, you better document them, because that history will be relevant so that you'll be able to build upon that. We have depended upon oral tradition for a very long time. But right now that we have multimedia, even documenting has become very, 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 very simple. These days, when some people are making certain contracts, they even make videos as evidence so that they keep those records there for future reference. So, my friends, whatever knowledge that your family has, especially those that have developed certain things where you own the intellectual property, make sure you go to the copyright office and you do what is needful. So at the end of the day, your family and your latter generations will be able to benefit from that intellectual property years over years. This Guinness company, I understand, it's been there for so many years. So many companies have been there for so many years. But because they did proper documentation and protected their intellectual property, they are still, enjoying from these. So whatever knowledge that is there, sometimes it may not be something of the family, but you have some way, somehow gone to acquire it somewhere, or maybe it is something natural. Make sure you document it, because for all you know, that is what your family is going to depend upon to make money. So as your knowledge is blessing your community and the world at large, then you are also making money out of that one. So I will encourage you to document that traditional knowledge. When you go to Japan and a number of countries in Asia, they don't play with their traditional medicines. Yes, the orthodox medicines are there. But once you have those traditional medicines, and these days we have research centers, once you take your product there, they test them and they see it is true, you'll be allowed to make money out of it. But what about if you don't document it and you die? You die leaving all that knowledge in the grave. So, children whose parents or grandparents who are still living are available for you to interview them. Let them give you the needed information so that you'll be able to document them for posterity's use. Thank you very much. Kindly subscribe to Prime Testimony channel, and please feel free to make comments and recommend the channel to other people. Don't forget to hit the like button as I wait for you to subscribe. Thank you. God bless you.